All right, let's see if that is live. That's not the color I wanted here. All right, let me know if we're live here. Test. Going to potentially need to change where the stream is. Let's get Discord out of the way. Do love a good amount of hassle some. Okay, let's get that. Okay, hello Glenn. How are you doing? Let me make sure audio's coming through a little. Check, check. Okay, now I can hear myself. Just getting one thing fixed up here. Going to make sure I have a pinned post. And then I'm going to make sure to share the stream. Because this one's a little special. Today I have basically the kind of privilege, honor, whatever you want to call it, of getting to be a part of a Kickstarter game. So I've been really excited about this. I suggested that I basically stream. Let me make sure this is working. Oh. Why is this not going through? Okay, well that's working. Basically, I suggested the idea of remixing a song from this upcoming game, royalty free for all, in my style. Yeah, why the hell is this always an issue? There we go. Okay, let's try writing a fighting game song for royalty free for all. Okay, wonderful. And then yeah, basically I asked the composers if they could hand like a song in mind that I could do, and this would be a great exercise for me in writing rock remixes that'll be kind of like official-ish remixes for games, including one that I'm attached to a little, and then also just kind of helping promote the game during its very, very like final round of kickstarting. So I'm just gonna quickly throw this on Blue Sky. I'm going to share what I've got going on, but let's see, bitrate is lower than recommended. Okay, let me see if I can change that. I may stop and join back the stream. Okay, let's go up to 6,000. Hello, Daniel. How are you doing? How's everyone's Saturday going? Anyone do anything cool today? Platform, fighter, royalty, free for all. Okay, wonderful. As long as everyone can see the stream and it's coming clear. Volume's super low. Okay, let's see. What is... And thank you for the feedback. It's important for me to know that. Here, let's just see if I can bump up the volume. Okay, how is this? I'm going to turn this up a little bit, and we're just going to try our best here. Ooh, actually, I see one issue already. Okay, that's good. Boom, boom. Okay, I may stop and start the stream here. Hopefully that won't break anything. But we're not getting audio here, are we? Yeah, I'm going to need to restart one thing real quick. And I think restarting OBS should solve this. So don't go. There we go. Okay, you should be able to hear me much, much better now. Should still be able to hear me really well. I'm going to crank up ASIO and drop this microphone input there because I don't know what that's for. Okay, please let me know if you can hear that. We're going to dive right in because we got some work to do. Right? We got some work to do. Close this project. No, so yeah, I'm really excited to be kind of sharing this game. I meant to put in like a little picture from the game here, so let me see if I can do that. This is going to be kind of inspired by Super Smash Brothers, platform fighters, like exciting rock, but in a more game soundtrack style. So I think that's going to be more of my aim here. Something that'll serve the game well. And one thing that I've kind of learned more and more about through my podcast and talking to composers and just my work in general. Sometimes music that sounds really good for listening, like in the metal scene and rock scene with all the punchiness and sort of the modern sensibilities that we do, doesn't necessarily serve a game well, where you're trying to focus on enjoying the game and everything else sort of needs to supplement. So that's something I'm going to try to work on here, along with, of course, sharing my process, sharing how I think about these kind of things. So let me get another photo. I couldn't find a royalty free for all press kit from my extremely lazy Google, but I'm going to again remind that I've got a pin post here because oh, that one's not letting me take it. All right, let's try you. Are you a JPEG? Great. Okay, we're gonna sneak this little photo into the corner here. So what was I saying? Yeah, I was really excited because I wanted to write a song that's kind of like semi-officially about the game. MGR, wonderful to see you. Yeah, I'm doing well. Working on this kind of unofficial official game remix. I basically got the game maker's blessing since I've already played guitar on Big Rock Candy Mountain, which was kind of unexpected but very fun. And yeah, we have the original game's sort of like stems and everything, and we're going to make like an official-ish remix in my style, so like a little bit more rock oriented, a little bit more hi-fi, just kind of like what if Super Smash Brothers style bled into this. And of course, if you're enjoying this and you want to support not just the game, but myself, since I'm attached to the Kickstarter, I'll be getting a little bit of work through this. You're welcome to back it. They are extremely close, 2.5K, which is of their $40,000 goal. So with all that in mind, I'm going to just kind of start going. And as with all of my streams, if you have a question about why I'm doing things, music, making, guitars, whatever it is, please let me know. It's a great way for me to keep talking. Oh my dear God. Okay, as of right now, I hadn't refreshed my page. Royalty Free for All has hit their freaking goal by a surplus. I don't know what happened. They're at $44,500. That is almost $5,000 above their funding. So first of all, my heartiest congratulations. Games are incredibly hard to make right now. I can't believe I found that out right as I started this. This was my idea to kind of help push the sales and backing. That said, there is amazing stretch goals in mind, including more music, more work for some amazing composers like David Wise and Grant Kirkhope and Evelyn Lark, new fighters for them to design, more modes, and an official OCR remix soundtrack as well. So there's going to be a lot more music and a lot more things to work on with this. So I need to get started. So what's really cool about this track is we're going to be doing a royalty-free cover or remix. So this game is basically built around characters that are famous but old. So old that legally anyone can make games out of them. So in case you weren't clear what public domain and royalty-free means, it just means that classics, Edgar Allan Poe and, musicals from a long time ago and Mozart and all sorts of really cool things are going to be available for the music. So we're doing a Tall Tall Mattress, which is kind of a cute stage playing off of Rockabye Baby, da 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 da. And what's kind of fun about this is I'll just play the original version. Very cool. So, this is written for kind of like that pop punk style. It's mixed in a way that's like kind of still warm and inviting, but has like this really lovely. It's like comforting because of how it's produced, but it's nice. It's kind of almost predictable, but a very cool twist on this original. The melodies aren't the same. So what am I gonna do? That is the question. And my first thing is I'm not going to keep the track in there. I'm going to try and work around it. So I have like a rock template here. Just some stuff that isn't really pre-mixed, but is already like, okay, it's a little pre-mixed and ready to go. So one thing I will take away is maybe I'll leave this in as like a mix reference more than anything. I'll just mute it. The tempo is 185, and there's a few changes. I'm going to see if I can get away with not using too many like tempo changes, basically. And that way I can just kind of write and see what happens. I'm going to leave a lot of like the instruments. We'll just do like -3 for different guitars here. I haven't even written anything down. I just don't want to have any like surprises. Maybe I'll put bass at -5. And honestly, when I work on writing original music or songs, I'll just take my Ernie Ball here. I like to just play out ideas. I think that's a little bit more organic, personally. So maybe I'll just do like something on the rhythm track or lead track. Make sure that we're in tune, and yeah, we'll kind of just think about. Whoa. There we go. Yeah, that's too many effects. I'm just going to start with a fresh Nolly archetype, just decent go-to plugin. Might take a sec here to load. And then, yeah, we'll up the noise gate, bring down the gain a little bit. Actually, we pick up the gate, or bring it way down. One thing I've found is definitely need to like dial in your input gain and your DI sound, basically, or a lot of this stuff just becomes really bloaty. Okay. So that's just good enough for us to get started with writing, which is the whole focus of this. So what I'll end up doing is you can set the input mode to stereo and turn on like 2 different cabinets. And then when I go to record like a double guitars, if we go for that sort of sound, I can just keep one plugin instance. So... It's funny, I was just thinking about this. The melody does get a little bit close to Rosalina's Observatory, and I think part of that is because that song was inspired by it. Oh, the last time I live streamed guitar, you got your interface? That's fun. Now, one thing again is like I want to see how I can make this unique. I won't be playing any like songs or riffs since I need to focus on songwriting for this stream. But if we have time at the end and I finish this, we can totally go through some riffy requests and whatnot. But for now, let's see. I'm gonna like play around with the tempo here and just kind of like. Maybe like a classical style, like we do it in one key and then we jump up to another, like. I weirdly got like a Xenoblade Chronicles sort of idea out of that. And again, like it's not super important to me how we do like tones or whatever, but I do want to make sure like they're distinct between the lead instruments and the rhythms, just so that when it comes to mixing, it won't be too hard. So yeah, I don't really like using too many presets and then I get like all up in it. I'll just pick the one that says lead. I'll take off any of the rhythms there. We'll also make this stereo. And then I'll just pick ribbon mics. They'll get like really specific-y sounds. Maybe not the 160. That's fine. Again, doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna call these lead L1 and lead right, and that way we kind of have a sense of how this might go. And then what I'll do is does anyone do this when they're writing music? Also, does anyone else accidentally record in Paizo? Okay. I like making markers and like naming sections. And that way I just visually have a very good sense of organization. I don't know if anyone else does that, but let's call this like the big ol' intro. And I'm already. And some of this, like, we can write in MIDI as well. I think that's perfectly good too. And then, yeah, it's all good. I can already tell, like, my timing's kind of screwy. Yeah, I've definitely seen Nick stuff. I think it is just a very common thing across songwriters then. We've taken a little bit of a detour here. Yeah, mark the sections as well. Yeah, sometimes that's easier for me to record because the idea is in my head, right? Or in your head, and you want to make sure the idea comes out as fast as possible. Okay, there's something going on with the input here, and I'm not sure if... Is it... Maybe we'll do like chord here. There we go. And then I'll redo this part really quick. Alright, my DI is too high. And the original version by Joshua gosh, I want to make sure I have their name right. I think it's Josh Caminelli. I believe it's an E. So we've taken ours into D, I believe. I always love that. And we can have like a center lead. I gotta avoid that one. It's like, do I want it in 3 or do I want it in 4? That's kind of the conundrum. And like, right now this is definitely some pretty scrappy stuff. And so we could do like this as a whole full section. Maybe something like, we'll just call this like Rockabye A. And then we could have this be like kind of a panic scene transition-y, like. So. When the door breaks, the baby will fall. Yeah, let me play that. And then. And one fun thing, again, royalty free, that makes it so fun, is we can get away with a lot. When I say get away with, I mean like we can include any royalty free music. You're welcome to kind of like, as long as you know you're certain it's safe. So we could do. We could have like a drum transition here. That might be like a fun way to get to another meter or something. And then we could change keys here and it won't be so jarring. But I want to like try to change as much of the feel of it as I can. Hello, talking like a teen. How are you doing? Yeah, shoot, we have so many choices here. No worries. I figured it might be Adrian, but hope you're doing well. Hope you're excited for a little bit of royalty-free rock and roll here. So yeah, something like Steamboat Willie on paper could be. The difficulty is the way the character, the stage, the music is recognized and written. They have to follow really, really careful rules to make sure that the version of the character they're using is purely the one that's allowed, basically. So, you know, they could do Winnie the Pooh, but they cannot do Winnie the Pooh talking like he does in the Disney cartoons. He can't necessarily do, 100 Acre Woods is safe because it's in the book. So a lot of like little caveats like that. But that's what I think makes it such a clever game idea. So maybe we could do like 4 1. Butts. And I kind of want to make this even harder and harder and harder. But yeah, it's understandable. Look, like without getting super into like the ethics of copyright, it's like if I made a character, I want to be the one who gets to like show it, but I don't care if people are going to be fans of it and play around with it. But I also wouldn't want someone to take my character and my song and use it in a way that I don't love, especially for money. So we kind of walk an interesting line as cover artists because we're doing exactly that. We're taking advantage of someone else's hard work in writing a song and building a fan base and associating by proxy. And in exchange, especially like with music covering that I do, we can only change it so much. We're supposed to not mess with the fundamental character. So, you know, a lot of people are quick to assume that, like, you know, fans, you know, are doing their absolute best, and most of the time they are, but there's a level of reasonableness that I want to do when it comes to music. I don't want to make the original creator upset, which, yeah. Ooh, okay. I think this song is not royalty free, but let me see. Sleepwalk by Santo and Johnny. How old is that song? 1959. Dang it. Does anyone know the song Sleepwalk? And it's like the sleeping song. If you look up, there's a great version by Joe Satriani, and obviously the original. It's played in a lot of sleeping sections of movies. It's by a pair called Santo and Johnny. Maybe we'll do like a fill here. Dun, dun. Dun, dun. Maybe we could just have like a riffy section. And how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we'll do like riffs, and then just do. I believe it has to be like almost 100 years, but I don't want to. I'm not a lawyer. I would love if anyone looks it up, and we're speaking, of course, within the United States since it's an American song. How many years for something to enter public domain?
And then again, they can change it, they can record it, and something 70 years after the author's death or 95 years from publication, 120 years for corporate works. So obviously, it takes quite some time. So let's kind of put some generic. Okay, I can feel like there's not enough juice going into this patch now, so let's... Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is an American game made by fellow Americans using worldwide public domain characters, obviously many from Europe and Asia and so on. But, yeah, when it comes to publishing, that's the route you have to follow. But it's not too bad, since obviously they're making this game work. But we are close to 45K, and that's $5,000 above, which, if I were to ballpark, I think that gets some really cool stretch goals in mind covered, which is amazing. Okay, so let's... Some riffies. And I realize that some of this sounds like... I don't know, like, depending on if you watch a lot of people work on music, I don't know if it's, like, unentertaining, or especially, like, oh, like, when's he gonna get to adding, like, drums so I can actually tell what he has in mind? But I don't like switching back and forth, you know? So, I mean, I could put, like, a generic drum beat that I have in mind. Sometimes I will do this, other times I won't, but... Just do. Oops. Something like something like that. Okay, let's just do that. And then for the 4/4 version, change this to something faster. That's very fast. So we could do that. So we could turn the melody into the riff itself, so... We could just make it into more of a break. So, like, I don't like putting a ton of complex melodies in segments like that, since so much of it is lead guitar-y. 185 BPM, yeah. You could definitely have, like, some real fast stuff going on. And again, the goal is to make it a remix that's, like, fitting for the game soundtrack. So, I don't want to, like, obliterate my hands or anything like that, but we're going to do our best. So... get another break here. I might be making it too much of a rock song with the breaks. Oops. But yeah, that was a little messy. But what's great about this is the iteration of it all is like, we can try something, we have this idea in mind, and then we actually put it in your hands, and you're like, oh, maybe not. Just something like that. Yo, Josh, how's it going? Yeah, doing our best, writing gamey fighter music. It's dangerous because I'm almost gonna be like you just really want to end up getting to that like bluegrass lick, which is fine, but I feel like tonally that's too far. So let's try to like punch it in, basically. Now I have a new idea for a riff, see? And then again, like if I get the idea I like through all this improv and whatever, then we can go back and actually track it meticulously. But see, like, that's still humanized version of the original, and I want to see if I can make it at least a little bit more metal. Maybe. Still kind of pop punky. Alright, enjoy right ears. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'm gonna just retract that. I have a tuner separately, but that's very important. All we needed to do is get to that point. And then again, we're gonna line this up later. That's my new kick and the most important thing ever to making good music. Maybe we can harmonize. we'll probably make the drums play along to that. Great question. From a songwriter perspective, what do you think is a better drum kit, Modern Massive 2 or Periphery 5 kit? Honestly, and I know this advice sounds like it's not great advice at first. It doesn't matter, whatever you already own or whatever you can afford. Writing songs, and this is advice I wish I had gotten and taken earlier, just make the thing and get feedback. So no one has ever given me useful feedback that was like, man, you need a... Okay, let me stop myself. I've never been given helpful feedback that was, you need to buy something. Everybody who's given me really useful long-term advice about arrangements, songwriting, recording, whatever, they never focus at that point on, man, like, I wish your drum samples were better. If the idea is good, most people already buy music that's, like, sampled to death, and they may not notice those things, in my opinion. I've gotten to use Modern Massive 2. A buddy of mine showed me it. It was cool. I like things in it. I think there are song tools in there that aren't in the general Get Good packages, which makes it a great purchase if you don't have any of them. But sound-wise, like, I should be using one kit and just making music. I shouldn't be fussing over tones and things until my ideas get on paper. And as someone who's like working on getting over like perfectionism and things like that, I think it's really important just to get your ideas out of your noggin and just enjoy that thing. I feel like if you can feel good listening to what you made is good. Yeah, like that's what it comes down to instinctually. I know it's really hard to choose between, do I go with neural DSP this or that, or do I buy this guitar, that guitar? And those are all great questions to have. But the most commonality I've noticed is a lot of people talk about gear and buying gear and trying gear and don't make anything with it. And it doesn't matter if you sell it or not. That's a capitalistic problem. But, just for the love of making music of some sort for yourself, for people, make the music. And like, there's some amazing compositions people will write in Guitar Pro, and I'm always like, oh my god, how do you get a whole song written out? Like, I take forever just to pick tones and stuff, but that's just it. Like, the beauty is in just making things. I use separate samples of kicks and snares, overheads on one plugin as Tom 7. A lot of people do that. You can still write with MIDI and route it how you want, which is a great option. For me, I tried to simplify it so I can just make stuff. Like, imagine if I couldn't have done this stream if I was worried too much about templates and stuff. But by all means, I like both of them. I think you'll be happy with both of them. But whatever you get, try to make that your end all and just enjoy making things with it. Well, the thing is, I'm getting this advice from other people too, and learning it from a lot of work where I've been stuck and I just want to make stuff and not fuss about is the mix good enough. And honestly, a lot of the times it's not good enough, but I wanted to have made the thing, and that's more important. A lot of the time I've also seen people who don't mix their own music. They have someone else do it because they're so good at their instrument that a mixer wanted to work with them and maybe like split their profit or something. And I know that I'm not at that point yet. So I have a goal in mind of being good enough that either my performance, which should matter the most, and songwriting will attract producers, and yeah, getting feedback, even really harsh feedback, or not even harsh, but just detailed feedback on, hey, this could sound better. It sounds like you haven't, tried doing this yet. Or, what's your approach right now? Like, are you thinking about this instrument this way? And, all those things contribute way better than just which tone to get or which library I've gotten. And that's not to say I'm not buying stuff left and right, but Yeah, I'm trying to buy nothing with iLock anymore, and just as much stuff that helps me do things. While I'm talking, by the way, what I'm doing here is I'm using a practice called slip editing. It allows me to cut the note, and if you go to reapertips.com and you use Reaper, you'll find much of this. And basically, I get to slide the notes into. And what you'll notice is the difference between me not doing this and doing this is one sounds like a polished recording, and everything is intentional, and one sounds like kind of a test. Yeah, honestly, I haven't heard of Circles Dead Disco, but I think, especially depending on what kind of style of music you make and how you mix, especially since you have so much time put into that, it gets the ideas across. I started being more okay with things that I thought were cheating only recently, and I wish that I spent more time doing that. So yeah, okay, where do we go with the song? Now we just turn it into Gent Monster or some sort. So I kind of want to come back to D at some point. So now we're ending at a B. So what if we do a minor? What's the opposite of a lullaby? A have trouble sleep-a-bye kind of thing. So maybe we can do and now we're going into F sharp minor. I don't know. This is gonna be weird. All right, so. So what if we just kind of play with those few notes and stretch them as long as we go? So let me take away the drums, because yeah, an alarm clock. Maybe we'll call this section the. And the thing is, it's a fighting game song, so we still need to keep a beat going, I think. So when we get into writing the MIDI parts, which I'm looking forward to, hopefully that'll kind of convey the minor lullaby. Rock-a-pie at midnight. How am I approaching the key changes? basically, I'm trying to follow like where the chords are, and I'm not a theorist. I find theory incredibly boring to talk about, even though I find it useful. And let me specify Western music theory taught based on 1700 Western composers. There are multiple music theories, and most people only care about the European one. But yeah, basically we're going from this E minor progression, and that's an E major progression. So, and that leaves us on the 5 of that scale, which is the B here. Da! And your natural inclination from the 5 chord, the dominant, I believe, is to return back to 1. However, my thing is I'm changing it from da 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 da. So, you want to go back to the E major, but you're just following the root as far as my understanding of how I feel hearing it. So, rock-a-bye, and that has this natural like niceness to it. That's the magic of this particular approach to the theory. However, rock-a-bye, and now it's minor. That wasn't a good demonstration. So, rock-a-bye, and it works both ways, the major or the minor. So all that's to say, it sounds good, and I'm doing it. But I think it's fair to say that if someone said that sounded bad, there may be some sort of like explanation through the conventions of common music to be like, oh, well, that sounds bad because traditionally no music has been written to jump keys that way, but some have. So here we're doing, these are still in the E minor scale as well. And then that's the G, which is the major third of that scale, which actually, I don't know if the 3 can be major minor. But yeah, so I'm jumping around chords that Ro knows are in E minor, and they fit. But because every chord overlaps with other scales, this is kind of our secret like tunnel passageway to get to play in other keys, which is one awesome thing about music theory that way. And then because from here, that's a D, now we're already sneaking kind of back into the scale there. And then this last one, now we're playing a B minor, which can be used in both keys. So if we wanted to get really screwy with it, listen to this. I'm going to jump from this E minor section back to D. See, like it worked perfectly, except I don't want to get to the D yet. I don't want to change keys. I want to milk this minor lullaby idea. So, so what were we gonna do? So that would be D minor. Shoot, so B minor. There we go. Okay. I like try to go as far as I can. See you, Josh. And then we can repeat it. I'm gonna call this section the minor lullaby, and that one like the transition craziness. But yeah, what's amazing is honestly one of the best ways to kind of get ideas like that and how to like transport yourself from section to section of songs is when you listen to music that does employ these techniques. Think about it in your head like, oh, okay, like they're using that. Oh, and then this kind of chord is shared, and then they're going here. And one of the best sources of where I got these ideas for myself long ago is from a little known band called Backstreet Boys, because a lot of pop music plays with key changes, modulation, as they call it. And what is it? I Want It That Way is a song that's in You Are My Fire, the one desire and believe. Hey, Owen. But you say that I want it that way. And then you go all the way through that, and you could think of the song in like all sorts of different keys. Like technically we're resolving to E major. And then the bridge is you are the D major, I think. A fire. You are. Don't. And then it's don't wanna hear it. And then we just jump to the ain't nothing but a heartache. And why does that work? Because we have that don't wanna hear it. That's an A major. Ain't nothing but a heartache. And I learned a lot from being obsessed with those kind of songs. Like, that A major is shared between both of these. It's a little harsher a transition than maybe like how classical musicians will modulate with like these beautiful pivot chords. But all this is to say that any kind of music that you love could be useful for learning how to make music that you want to write. So as we're writing our royalty-free idea here, so we have enough. And this is Brahms' Lullaby as the minor, so I should probably do it. Go back to the main song. Oh God, we're gonna have to retrack that one. So. And this is what it's annoying. Rockabye Baby and Brahms' Lullaby are totally interwoven on purpose. And that's like It's a F sharp 7, I think. God, this is hurting my brain. This was supposed to be easy. Anyway, so I'm gonna redo all this, and I'm gonna do it in the main theme of Tall Tall Mountain. So. And then what's the next part? Da, da, da. Yeah, this is tough. Okay, so. This is reminding me of Canon Rock. Like, the ending actually plays into, like, a sort of Phrygian scale situation. And that's the one scale I try to never play because it's just such a appropriative go-to for really bad desert music. Not that it doesn't exist. It's just I try to avoid it. And then rockabye. And then now we need to close the phrase. So, come on. Did I accidentally delete it? And then now we're back in D. And we'll do like a bunch of riffing because it's supposed to be Smash Bros. Style. Thank you so much for coming by, MGR. Hope you're doing well, and I'll see you around. Okay, so now we'll do some... Maybe we'll do something in 7, 7, 8. I feel like I just made that 6/8 or... No, that's too fast and... I might keep the time signature. Okay, how do I... What is 185 in half? Not proud of this. 185 divided by 2 is probably 92 and a half. Okay. I like that I did the math while I typed it. Okay, Nah, I'm like, I think I just need to like hear that tempo for a minute. It's just like a loop. Favorite Periphery song for me? God. I don't know, Mile Zero is up there. It's always Smiles is up there. A lot of the sentimental ones are really up there. I really like Letter Experiment because at the end they sound like they're shouting Ro. And I actually just really, really love that one. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a huge fan, so I like a lot of their a lot of their tracks off the top of my head. P5, there's been a few good ones. Absalom is another big one. Loon, I think, is one that I love. I think of Loon as like one of my mix references, and Catch Fire. I really like the poppier stuff. And I'm just gonna leave this looping. Ooh, race car's a great one. That one's in a kind of funky tuning. God, this is a tough. This is like less and less Smash Bros-y. That's the problem, I think. I paste all. I'm trying to like picture playing the game and just like maybe we'll do like some almost like symphonic elements here, like some hit dun dun. And then we'll fill those out with like some different stuff. So let's switch back to rhythm. Wait, what did I do the first time? Okay. I think I cut it off later. Okay, and we're gonna basically again slice it up. This is a separate kind of step that I would do, but just because I want to make sure I'm playing well, I like to make sure I'm hitting the grid very, very consciously. And I'm getting better at doing this at the same time as writing. But yeah, this is again the difference between something sounding like an idea and something sounding intentional. Dang it. And yeah, I probably should have done a slower BPM so I'd have an easier time. Because I haven't written a song or a remix or whatever on a stream in a while. Ooh, yeah, this is really awesome. Sir. Okay. And I like getting the tails also to be very, very, very close. And then we'll cut it off there because then I can do something cool. But yeah, you can also tell like once parts are aligned, or if you're just like a godly player. I don't know. I've had a few people send me stems, and I'm just like insulted how good they are. But yeah, you can really feel like the wall of sound. And even that, I'm like, I'm hearing that. Keep me up at night. I think it's this fella. Oh yeah, Allison just found out that the game is funded 111%, maybe a little more even. I don't know. By the way, let me plug this again. It's a pinned post, but I am doing this as a sort of hype up for the Kickstarter campaign for Royalty Free for All. It's a platform fighter with royalty free characters. Everyone from public domain, your favorite novels, books, musicals, classics, and amazing characters through history, especially, turned into a platform fighter, much in the veins of games like Super Smash Bros. And I think there was one other one that came to mind first, but obviously, like lately, there's been like multiverses and a bunch of different ones. So it's got like a bit of a party feel to it. It's zany, hand drawn cartoon characters, human made, of course, and I had a lot of fun. I've been lucky to know one of the creators and members of the team who's been in music. He's a super creative person, and he shared with me this game on like a random Discord call a few years ago, showing me Brawlhalla is another great example. But he showed me the game does in super early like idea form, and since then I've been really excited to watch him find programmers, obviously develop like ideas, get composers, and like different kinds of tests, and seeing the characters be drawn and animated and played early builds of the game, and now of course you can get the public version. So I highly recommend if you can't afford to back the Kickstarter for any reason. You can get the free Steam demo and give it a try. At the very least, it helps with more people checking out the game. And if you came from the stream, let them know. And I've gotten to play guitar on one track. We have like a very up in the air sort of ideas as far as the music goes and my involvement. But I'd love to be a part of this game a little bit more, and we're gonna continue on. But I sincerely appreciate everyone who's coming by my stream, let alone checking out the game, which is, of course, funded, but stretch goals will include more awesome things, including probably music. Anyway, let's get back to it. I think I want to, like, find a way to get this song to its end loop point, if that makes sense, where we'll come back into the bulk of the intros and stuff, so... let's see. I don't know, we can do like some sort of high intensity turnaround of sorts, and then we'll get back to you know what? I want to have like a random section of the actual like cutesy piano playing, so maybe we'll do like a baby section, and then and that makes it into a minute and a half, which is actually really close to the original. So what I'll probably do now is sort of pivot into writer mode. This is the mode that saves my back. Okay, so now I can sit upright and I'll be able to sleep. So this is going to be a baby piano or like some sort of like music box sort of sound. Let me start getting that out. And apologies, I'm trying to make sure I'm sitting comfortably because I am easily going to hurt my back. So we're not going to do that. I'm just going to type in some words here, and here we go. By the way, while I appreciate folks in chat pitching in, I'm probably going to focus on just writing, and I'll reach out if I need ideas, just so I know I'm able to keep myself going here and not having to sift through chat too much for ideas. I don't know if I have an expand toy piano in mind, but again, one of the things that I'm trying to make sure I work on, I'm sure many of you are too, is just put the idea on paper. So we're gonna try to do like a little, maybe we can do like a phone recording filter as well. Let's see if we can do something. And yeah, like I definitely don't want to agitate scoliosis or anything like that. So it's always good to like sit up like this. 1, 2. Ah, crap. We have to go back to 3/4, don't we? Okay, so we're gonna go back and we have to go back. What? And maybe we'll do like a little cheeky nod to it, so our version is also still a different melody. And what's cool is we can kind of find a way to make it loop. So let me do that. I'm going to humanize the playing, and we'll do like a little... Oh, no more loops. We'll do like a bass line. Yeah, I did like one cheeky thing. And we could run it through Saturn or something. And what this does is basically it adds a little bit of what's called tape saturation, kind of like a light distortion, makes it a little fuzzy. And that's cool because then we'll have like this like phone call feel. And this is more EQ, so I can make it brighter, a little bassier, darker. But yeah, for now, I think we need to start accompanying a lot of this so that the idea of the groove is there. Rhythm is really important to music, probably number one almost. So we could do just start with like a ramp up situation here, like dum 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 dum. So something like that would be kind of cool, maybe. So we'll go so maybe another crash here. We'll start adding like other toms. And then we should add more. Maybe we'll have foot splashes. And now we'll probably get into like some fills, some like da-da-da-da-da. Something like that, I think. Da 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 Something like that might be pretty cool. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, so I mean, just on self-reflection and for me to keep talking to the chat. Yeah, this isn't easy because this isn't a muscle to use some words I've been told on. It's not a muscle that I use a lot when it comes to like original writing and then original writing in front of people and stuff, but I think it's one that I really like the idea of because it opens up a lot of avenues for me. So we could do like, yeah, so basically the overview of the game is it's a royalty-free, public domain-inspired fighter with very like classic hand-drawn cartoons as part of the forefront, and all the characters are from books, different classics, different like musicals, with a lot of suggestions from backers and just audience people as well. So everything from Dorothy, which is actually Toto from Wizard of Oz, through to like one of the ones that was votable is the slip and fall like hazard guy on like the signs for slip like cones and stuff, and everything in between. I mean, Sweeney Todd, you can play as a razor blade from that musical and things like that, but it also has like a very like platform fightery feel. There is wave dashing, and I've been told that like they went to Evo, they got a lot of people who play Melee professionally to kind of chime in and give them a lot of feedback. I'm more casual, and I actually really enjoyed it. I remember Buddy Colby played it and found it to like function pretty well as like a platform fighter type. I made coffee, and all of like my foam is at the bottom, and I'm really sad because I didn't want to like messy my desk or fingers or anything, and now I clearly have. My buddy Colby actually needs to check in on our upcoming show because apparently we've got to build out a little bit of a live setup of sorts. So I'm kind of curious what he's gonna find out. Maybe I can do one of these. I feel like this one's gonna end up having like some strings in it. Oh yeah. I'm definitely curious how that's gonna look, but I'm also very excited. In the off chance anyone besides Owen is in the larger Seattle area, I'm thrilled to get to play with the wonderful people in the band Armature and Curse League next Saturday at Tabletop Village for a charity show, cross album release party, cross potluck. It's going to be the first time that half of my band, Prague Experience, is doing double duties, and it's just going to be a really fun time. We have a pretty unique set that's a little bit more leaning into like hard rock and a lot of like games and anime this time. So it's a super fun set. I don't think it's like going to be as intensively like technical and a lot of singing. So I'm excited for that. All right, so now let's go from writing basic drums to some kind of interesting ones. And I don't think we need the triple here, but maybe we'll like... I'm gonna steal that because I hate listening to my screw up there. So we're gonna retrack that for our final. So I'll just put a marker here. Retrack, please. Be kind to yourself. And then we should match the da 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 down. So da da da. So we'll do da 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 da. like. And we'll have the foot splash going. And then maybe we can borrow this. So we can do like. We can do. Da 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 don't get something like that. Maybe like. And now we can kind of break the groove a little bit. Maybe like. Still have the foot going. So this is our first little transition thing. We'll do like little ramp ups, like so. Maybe we can do like a left, right. What other? I've definitely watched all 3 of those anime. Not probably in entirety for Dragon Ball Z. I didn't like grow up getting to watch much of it, but obviously read through Naruto completely. I have a lot of fondness for that one, and I am surprisingly current on One Piece as of a little while ago. Maybe we can do like some style stuff here. We can do like. It's a tough one to recommend because of both the pacing and like the expectations and how different it is, but I enjoyed getting to read through it, having been into other shonen and different just series in general, and it has its own unique flavor and a lot of ups. And I'm just gonna borrow my little ramp up snares. Maybe we'll make a couple. And then this one will go a little louder, so we can do like little hi-hat. So My Hero, I think I watched 1 or 2 episodes, and I feel like because I'd gone through so many shonen now, I felt like I saw too many parallels to older anime that I liked more, so it hasn't grabbed me as much. I'm told it gets less and less derivative and all that, but yeah, I haven't gotten through it yet. And then now we'll get into this section here. Once I retime that. But yeah, like if I had never seen Naruto, I feel, or you know, by that proxy, I'm sure Dragon Ball Z fans might feel the same way for that one. I think I would be super like immersed by a lot of like story elements, but I know it also departs. So I might give it the old college try. Okay, so now again we need to match the kicks to this kind of melody. And we'll do something like that. I see. Maybe we'll do something a little bit close to that pop punk, like dot dot dot. So like that. And we'll do like some shuts. And then we can do like brum. That needs to happen faster, doesn't it? We could do like a. Hello? Okay. And then we could do this. And we can do some fills. So. And one of the references I think that's actually coming to mind is how Smash Bros does their like Castlevania things with like a little bit of like metalcore. Okay, and then maybe do. Very cool. Yeah, I never got to like play live a lot of punk style things, so it doesn't necessarily come organically to me, but I do enjoy like hardcore punk and so on, but I think I like it more live, and then when I'm playing music and writing music, I naturally gravitate towards more technical like riffy oriented stuff. Forgot what happens after that. Hey, I mean, having a garage is already an amazing step up and a privilege, so why not? And then I think maybe here we'll go halftime and kind of get it to sound more like something I would write. Get like a. Just something like that, I think, would be. Okay, and now we'll. And then we'll come back in. And now, see, we've written like this perfectly valid section of drums. Oh, poop. No, that's 3/4, so I can't just. So now you can do. I don't like that. I'm trying to like set myself up to do less work to get the idea. we can do like go 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 do 1 2 ready and break, and then that'll get old after like the third time or something. Then maybe we can we could do like some triplets, like down da ga da down. So oh yeah, and then I did this thing. I don't think that's right. So here, let's try like a just fast, big hi-hat. That's a cool band name. Last Second. And then maybe the last here we and see what's great is the cymbals rang out. And then we need to go back to immediately. So we could do like a reverse cymbal effect or something and cut it off and start back there. I think that'll work out quite nicely. So what I'm gonna do is I need to take a quick bio break. I'm gonna mute my microphone and then we're gonna just leave this playing for like 1 minute. And then we're gonna dive back into we'll do bass. I think bass guitar would be fun to watch and also help me with like some of the rhythm ideas. So let's run this like that. And actually, let's see. There we go. It's probably not a very long song. Yeah, so far, hopefully so good. I personally like to write out stuff this long without all the instruments, but sometimes I feel like it's really necessary to hear those missing elements here. We're gonna try So, yeah, bass recording is really fun for me. And sometimes I've actually written song ideas and riffs starting with bass. The only downside right now is I need to take off some things, like we don't need a sidechain or mix. We're getting latency, so I need to figure out what's up with that. Oh, that's why. It's because that. We're going to use Best Bass plugin. I've used Quad Bass by Joe Calderone. I'm going to try using some of these, like... No, we still have a lot of latency, and in case you're not sure what that means, it's when I pick it, I have to wait a second before I can actually hear the music play. So there's some sort of like processing chain here that's slow. Oh, I know what it is. When I was playing it back, I put in all the processing. Okay. So I'm not totally convinced yet. I think that's probably good, a tone. Let's see. There's 4 cabs you can use, or you can load in your own. And this is like one of those easiest ways for me to throw money at something that I shouldn't have, is just all the different IRs, or basically like sounds that of a cabinet that you can simulate. So we need to figure out what's gonna work for this song. There it is. Start. And then we're gonna change. And then from there, I think we're monitoring it a little hot, so yeah, what's nice is like I know my DI sound, so I don't really care what the tone is while I'm working. Now, it is important to keep in mind, of course, when we actually go and sit and mix this, we'll be focusing on it working for a game, so it may not have as much punch as what I would do for like the metal remix, I guess, but we're still gonna try to make a happy compromise. And yeah, just like you can kind of. This is like very subby, which is fine. But I usually try to have it very compressed and very controlled. So yeah, this is where we could reharmonize even. I'm using a low D. But I need to stop doing the Comet Observatory thing. So. And that's like too boring, so. And whatever I do on bass, I'm going to match on guitars, which is really fun, I think. Yeah, because like the thing is, this is Mario. This is da 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 da. And that's copyrighted. Yeah. So we could get close. And here's the thing. Ed Sheeran got away with Ed Sheeran got away with using a very famous chord progression in a song, and copyright was safe. But I don't think it's worth the risk, because creatively we can do better. Maybe we can do like yeah, let's it just sounds wrong if I don't do that. Breaks the drum breaks, the cradle will fall. Now will fall. Yeah, I have no idea how this is sounding on like headphones that enhance bass. And then this one gets really close to the original. I was supposed to do something cool there. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, now we're playing my. I think this pick is quite cutting. I usually try to get a halfway pick because that way the pick bends and not the string as much when it comes to low tuned. And then now we're in. I'm already gonna go ahead and cut this. Also, this drives me freaking crazy. The count-in measures do nothing for me, and it's on default. There we go. Cool. All right, now we're now it feels a little bit more like me. There's a little bit more metal going on, just a little bit more shreddery. I did not write myself a copious guitar solo, but if I were to cover this remix of the royalty-free song, I would add one. So now, if we just speed take a listen. I'm not going to worry about side chaining it. So I think the next thing logically to do is record some rhythm guitars. Normally I would do this on I'll do it on the same guitar. Normally it's good to switch it up, but because I already started on the 7, I'll do the 7. I think it would be nice to diversify the sound a little more, but what are you going to do? And then these rhythms are going to get quieter, especially because it's meant to be a game remix. We don't need like super loud rhythm guitars, but start somewhere. Do that last sec again. I'm going to stretch these out so I can really see. Yeah, that timing is not acceptable. Try that.
so I'm going through the amp.
There we go. There we go. Okay, now I have to do that perfectly again. I think there's a few differences. Cool. Okay, so now it sounds a little bit more better, but it needs to be even betterer. And one thing I can see here is like I rushed this part. Okay, we gotta redo that. One of these sides is bad. Okay, cool. And this one's still ever so slight. How dare you betray me? Okay, I know that for many that might have been the most painful looking thing ever. Very deliberate, just so that the timing is impeccable. It like almost should to me sound like a synthesizer, but you accept at some point you won't be perfectly close, and that's what I love about it. Let's see. it's just a guitar slide. Nice little kind of supplement to the wildness that's... Yeah, I mean, I honestly try not to think too much about other songs when I'm pulling things too, just so that you feel like you're kind of writing something original. You don't have to feel the comparison. Even though obviously it's coming from source of influences. And I'm also trying to, like, again, bring it back to, like, game music, and that makes it really hard. Like... And now we're trying to, like, transition back to punk. Last part we definitely need to spike up. Like I think I can live with that. Hopefully. But I feel like there's a video editing program where I keep trying to use a hotkey to stretch these out, and it's not doing that. It drives me nuts because, like, everything else about the workflow is really fast. But I'll figure it out. And then we're going to go into that riff that I recorded earlier. It was a very interesting writing style here. Yeah, I like that transition. Maybe we'll make this section have like the chords to it, so feels a little bit. Oops. Maybe we could do like a do. Yes, he's like, there we go. Control and let's get back grid size. Can I make a weird? Okay, that might be too like classical. So yeah, I think I like that better. Okay. Da 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 da. Just as I was like, oh yeah, this is totally like perfect. Let's double check the timing here. That feels too fast here. So like again, this feels like super new to me, even though it isn't. But yeah, get close to perfect is really important. Yeah, I can feel like that's rushed. And then, actually, you can see. Holy butt. Okay. We're gonna do that. Scott. And then that. Okay, now I think we're done playing instruments. Hopefully. Alright, so now what we're gonna do is kind of like, how long have I been streaming? 2 hours, jeez. That's too much time. Normally I gave up at like an hour stream. So this is obviously a good sign. Let's see, what we can do is, okay. I think what I'll do is pretty much try to get the fill out of like the synthesizers and stuff, and then make this into a complete remix of sorts for a stream. In the meantime, again, this is all in favor of promoting the game. So if you do have an interest in what I'm talking about and why I have a vested interest, this is a game that I'm going to get to do some sort of music for. And I've already have done a little bit of guitar playing. I see since the stream started, we've gotten a little bit of a bump, which is cool. But if you want to check it out, all of the pinned posts, yeah, the support is wonderful, not just to the creators, but to the musicians, myself, some awesome composers. I'm looking forward to hearing on this. Anyway, let's get back. Ooh, what is this? What is this timing nonsense? So I'm gonna start with like some sort of rock organ, and one thing that I've really enjoyed having is this Analog Lab by Arturia's. It comes with a lot of like defaulty stuff, and then I happen to have the Dream Theater one. Now the main thing I have to watch for is I can't seem to kill the reverb. I wonder if there's some control there beyond what I'm using now then. Or is that routed somewhere else? Time will tell. Anyway, I'm gonna drop this to like -8 to start. And this is gonna give us like kind of more harmonic richness because we're using so many different instruments here, which I think will be fun. So we'll do like a maybe I can pull off. Turn back now. And then we can do one of these. And obviously like the... like super low. Oh yeah, no, the mirror's super fun. Just that whole it just shows you kind of like how many different subdivisions of time you can make out of music, which is really fun. And I really enjoy that. So what we're gonna kind of do is build out like what I would actually play on a keyboard here. Which would be like 5s, just because rock. So G, D, F, C. We'll have like a harder note. Dun, 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 dun. And then we can kind of like keep it going. Dun, dun. So. And what's important to me is to like make sure this is still humanly playable and would make sense. So I'm like picturing literally. I feel like that's a little. And now we can kind of reinforce the melodic nature of like this line. And now we can and maybe we can do something crunchy like kind of do like a little which is I think what is that, A7? And what's kind of cool about this now is we're getting to like hear the song, all the melodies, and then fill out like a lot of just the textures. So maybe we'll like just keep this. And we'll kind of zigzag it, and that gives you a little bit of humanity. You know, like cheat a little bit. I always forget that I have to remember I'm talking into my DAW. We could kind of kill off some of the low end just because I know guitars and bass and all that. Like, we're not going to hear it. And one more move we can make is maybe like pull some of the melody stuff out of the center channel. And not only does it feel wider, but it's literally not. It's literally away from the center, so I think that'll be nicer. And now we redid that, so I'm going to get rid of that marker. So. Give it a little bit more of lead guitar. And that would, like, sometimes you'll have a little more reinforced lines. I think of it like when you have vocals and someone, like, dubs certain vocals. I think that's really neat. want to make that dun really like stand out. So maybe we'll do like a. We'll just make it like nice little. Just close it out like that. We can do like a damn wow. Yeah, it's weird. Well, that's how streaming is. Sometimes, don't have too many people at once. I'm not a big streamer, but eventually you get more people. But either way, music's gotta get made. But appreciate everyone coming in as they do. Don't expect everyone to stick around. I honestly, the hypocrisy here, I don't watch a lot of streams, at least not too often. I tried to, but they're always during times that I am working. I'll probably cut these up a little bit. And I don't know if I like that. I don't that one. Bring this like soup. But yeah, we can pull this off. Now we can do the opposite. Oh, got it. Why are you stopping? Maybe we can do that. Did I do? No. Okay, and then we change this one. Okay. Maybe we'll write some strings here. And there's some latency, I'm using a performance patch, but one of the issues that you'll have with writing like string things is that where is it? Nuclear. Yeah, it's not meant for writing things that'll be faster. So let's do sustain tight. And I like this library a lot because it's not super realistic. The attack of everything is very fast. I think that's super important. I don't like that. And then just like some sort of filling, some texture that's like different than all the organs and stuff. But yeah, I think that worked out. Yeah, honestly, a lot of people trickle. I don't think that's odd. I also chose this kind of arbitrary time to stream because I wanted to make sure people in Europe can join in if they happen to work alongside. And I think I'll leave just strings for now, maybe no brass. Like a medieval organ or something. I think that might be flavor here. And what are we at? 2.5 hours. So I'm gonna like publish this to my Discord after like a full playthrough to see how far we get. But I think what's funny is like I used to be able to stream these things and be like, let's make a cover in like 1 hour, and that was a horrible precedent to set for myself. Not because like I think I could do it or couldn't do it, because like what I would make is nothing that I would actually publish and be happy with in that regard. So definitely some things I've learned here. So let's start with Now we get the do like a I don't think they did parallel fifths or whatever before. But my apologies. Why is this? Maybe I need to. And we'll vary this. What's kind of controversial is I'm gonna kill the reverb. I think that'll help me. Never mind, I'm not allowed to because it's not even on. And now maybe we'll just match the organ. We do like free item positioning, and then we'll use maybe like one of these crazy things. And then what's cool is we can do drums. And then we'll do a reverse cymbal at the end of this, basically. And that'll be our loop. And to check if that even works. It's not perfect yet, but I think I can fix that, because all we have to do is unreverse this cymbal and kind of use it as a sub here. So let's see if we can spice this open up. So, like for a final or for real remix, I definitely wanted harmonies, harmonized like guitars here. As and I'm gonna try to compensate by putting that in the rock organ here real quick, as I race towards like 4:30 Pacific time mark to like kind of call it. It's a lot of time spent making music. Excuse me? There we go. I might drop these an octave and see how that sounds. You can get like a little bit of like samples to help with that. And I don't know if that's all the strings I want arranged. Did I not play there? This is weird. I like don't normally forget notes. Something got deleted, or I don't know. So what is the is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pitch this up. See if that sounds. Will they be dropping an OST at some point? Yes, I've actually talked to creator a lot about how that'll happen and how to publish it safely with that many songs. I'm hoping that the soundtrack will drop concurrently with the game, but also, depending on the stretch goals, they may be able to have that alternate remix with some folks from OCR developing one. They're at 44.8, so I don't know the stretch goals yet. They haven't been finalized and rolled out. There are a lot of them. So I think right now they're kind of like celebrating and scrambling to decide what that'll be, because that'll be wonderful. I think this wouldn't be a very Smash Bros. Type like fighter soundtrack with just a big gap. Maybe I could do something like. Some sort of like drumline thing. Maybe like. Appreciate you coming by, Glenn. We'll do like one of those. Or you can do like. So this is something I think for the final that we're getting to. I'm gonna try to fix up here. Da 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 do 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 do, and then yeah, like you can kind of see the da da do do. And then, yeah, again, we're trying to like get it on the grid so that the beats kind of fall into place a little bit more naturally. So, scuba la dweeb up. There. And maybe we can get some radio static too. Here's a fun way to do it. Okay, so that obnoxious thing is called white noise. Static, kind of cool, kind of annoying. What we'll do is during the baby section, kind of just have it there. And now what we can do is we can automate what I just did. RC20 maybe, just makes kind of like a radio noise thing. And then we print it out, meaning that we take and then we get rid of the old one, and now we just have all this to play with. We can add like one little something. And one idea I have there is maybe we do like UST clip. That'd be cool. And we'll do like one more Saturn, and this one will just be like running it through a guitar amp or something. And then we'll just turn it up at the very end. And then we get to just like go crazy right there. Maybe a little bit more obviously distorted by this point. Cool. Oh god, I'm having one of those MIDI things. Oh god. Okay. I'm just gonna disable that and remember to render it when we're done, which is very close to now, I think. So we're basically in the mixing, and that means me some latency there. I think the last thing I'll do is just a little bit of like extra compression on the buses. All right. Okay. I think I like the mix how it's sounding right now. Pinned link. Let's double check. Oh yeah. No worries. Let's see. I may have here, let me unpin this. No, YouTube doesn't want people to leave YouTube, so it will potentially take you to the warning. I mean, it worked for me just now, so maybe that's the right link, hopefully. Regardless, I was supposed to wrap 11 minutes ago, so I think I'm gonna take a few more mixing listens here, and then we're gonna kind of call it. I'll throw it in my Discord, and maybe we'll work on it some more for the game or something. Thank you. Oh, very exciting. And we can actually, maybe we can get away with this. Also, whoop, that's supposed to be done there. Maybe we can do lead stereo. Do okay, and then we're gonna have a separate lead guitar for when I do it center. And I'll add some delay to that just so it doesn't sound so jarring. Let me move that over. With that, in case you're watching the VOD, that's going to be it. I think that's been 3 hours of streaming, which is 2 hours more than I normally do. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the VOD, kind of checking out my process. Most importantly, if you enjoyed this or the idea, of course, of public domain and fun book characters and musicals, check out Royalty Free for All. It's on Steam. It's going to be, hopefully by the time this stream's over, there's still time in case you want to back it. But otherwise, you can check it out. It has succeeded in its Kickstarter. So you can check out the game, platform fighting, fans of Smash, Brawlhalla, I don't know, any sort of platform fighter. I imagine this is going to be right up your alley, and a ton of fun, ton of cool characters, and of course, really great music. Hopefully I'll be playing a little bit more guitar on it in different ways now that it's funded. I feel like there's going to be all sorts of cool stuff happening from there. So yeah, check it out. I will post this on my Discord, which is linked in all my videos. You're welcome to join up there or otherwise. And if you have any questions about how I made this, you're always welcome to reach out. Thanks, everyone, and have a good one.